HTC U11 is arguably one of the best 2017 smartphones, and HTC is now back with a mid-range device, the HTC U11 Life, for just $349. The U11 Life takes a cue from the top-end U11 and builds on its unique liquid surface design. Only this time the back comes with an acrylic glass. Not to be confused with real glass, the acrylic is a clear plastic that resembles glass. That said, HTC has managed to create a life out of this acrylic by bringing the same stunning liquid surface design to the U11 Life. With just 142 grams, the U11 Life is a delight to hold in your hands. The U11 Life comes with a Snapdragon 630 processor, which is Qualcomm's mid-range octa-core processor with 3 GB of RAM, 32 GB onboard storage, and a 5.2-inch Super LCD 1080p screen. If 32 GB onboard storage isn't enough, you can use the micro SD card slot to expand your storage for up to 2 TB. If you want to take your U11 Life out in the snow or rain, then you should be happy to know that U11 Life is IP67 rated, meaning that it is dust, water, and splash resistant. If you are looking for that one port that is hard to find these days in a smartphone, you won't find it in the U11 Life either. Yes, there is no headphone jack in the U11 Life. So you have to search for some nice Bluetooth earphones or use the HTC USonic earbuds that comes in the box with the U11 Life. Now these USonic earbuds are the same that ship with the top-end U11. So from my experience, I think the HTC USonic earbuds are probably one of the best that ships in the box with a smartphone. There is no doubt the HTC USonic delivers a great performance, and since it supports high-res audio, there's a fair chance that you are going to like it the same way as you would be liking your 3.5mm headphone with the high-res audio capabilities. Now, one of the great things about the HTC USonic is that it scans your environment and fine-tunes the audio so it can create a personal profile for your ears, and that's pretty good because that actually creates an accurate sound profile depending on the noise that is in the surrounding area and delivers you the active noise cancellation just for the profile that you created. However, that said, one thing to note is that the U11 Life does not come with a dongle in the box, which means you are not able to use the 3.5mm headphone that you have with you right now. Now that's one of the biggest downsides because most of the phones that do not have a headphone jack do provide a dongle in the box. And that's something you don't get with the U11 Life, so you have to spend extra dollars to buy the dongle from HTC. Now another disappointment here is that since HTC uses proprietary audio format and digital audio converters for their dongle, it is impossible for you to use any dongle that you can buy in Amazon or any other store. You have to buy the specific dongle from HTC website. Unlike in every other smartphone where you find the charging port in the middle, in the U11 Life you will find the charging port on the far right in favor of the speakers that you have in the bottom. The speakers themselves aren't comparable to the HTC Boom sound, but here's a sample if you want to know how the speakers sound in the U11 Life. The U11 Life comes with a fingerprint sensor as well, which you can find in the front at the bottom. The fingerprint sensor isn't the fastest, but it does work really well. Yes, the HTC Edge Sense is also available in the HTC U11 Life that you find in the top-end U11 and other Google Pixel phones. So you can perform a short squeeze or a squeeze and hold actions to launch some apps or turn on and turn off some shortcuts like flashlight or your Wi-Fi connection and any other settings you find in your phone. So here I have set up in my U11 Life a short squeeze to turn on the flashlight and squeeze and hold to launch the camera. And once I'm in the camera app, I can again do the short squeeze to take a picture or squeeze and hold to switch between the cameras. And you can do the same in other apps too. So for example, in the maps, I can short squeeze to zoom into a place, and same in a Photos app, I can short squeeze to zoom into the picture. And similarly, I can configure these squeeze actions for other apps too. For example, in the Twitter app, I have set the short squeeze to compose a new tweet, and then I can do another short squeeze to launch the voice to text action, so I can literally speak and that gets converted to the text, so I can then send my tweet with a single tap. The Edge Sense also supports Amazon Alexa, so if you're into Amazon Alexa ecosystem, then you should be happy to know that you can now use Alexa in your HTC U11 device. So with a short squeeze or a squeeze and hold action, you can launch Alexa and ask her anything you want.
Tell me a joke.
What is heavy forward but not backward? A ton.
The U11 Life ships with Android 7.1.1 and is expected to get Android Oreo by end of this year. The default HTC Sense is pretty basic and it's the same that you find in other HTC phones like the HTC U11. It's a basic launcher with an app drawer and support for HTC themes. The home screen is as simple as it gets, and the HTC launcher is integrated with the HTC Blink feed. The app drawer is also customizable with few options. You can sort the apps by most recent alphabetically or in your own custom order, and you can also change the wallpaper background for the app drawer and show and hide some of the apps in the app drawer. Other than this, the rest of the experience is almost very similar to the default Android experience. There isn't any bloatware or any more customizations to the HTC Sense UI. Now that said, the HTC Sense is getting old. There's no doubt the HTC Sense is fast, but it does look pretty outdated when you compare it with the Samsung experience that you get in the Samsung or the default Android skin that other manufacturers use, like the Essential, Motorola, and even the Android One UX that you get with the Android experience. So hopefully HTC has some new updates working on for the Sense UI, and hopefully we will see it soon. Else, this is something HTC has to work on to make sure they give a great experience in the software for their customers. The U11 Life comes with 16 megapixel front and rear cameras with an f2.0 aperture. However, one thing to note is that there is no optical image stabilization, so there is only electronic image stabilization available for both videos and still photos. The camera software is the same as you would find in other HTC smartphones like the U11. It comes with many camera modes along with the Pro mode, which gives you options to control specific settings like the ISO, exposure, and focus for a specific shot. Now, some of the problems I did find with the camera is that the shutter speed is really slow. So by the time you press the shutter button and wait for the shot to come out, it takes few seconds. And sometimes I get the message that the image is still being processed after taking the shot, especially in the Pro mode or when I have the HDR turned on. While I'm okay with these slow shutter speeds, one thing I'm not okay with is that the camera not having a good exposure level. The default exposure level you get when you focus on a subject in the U11 Life is really terrible. The picture is underexposed and you would have to increase the exposure to get the shot that you want. Now, I don't see this happening in other phones, but it is very prominent in the U11 Life. Now, I'm not sure whether this is a problem with the camera sensor or it's just a software bug that HTC can fix in a future update. We have to wait and see. Other than these issues, I did find the pictures to be good. They're not bad, but they're not good either. But they're somewhere in the middle where you would be happy to get this output in a $349 mid-range phone. Let's talk about the performance. The Snapdragon 630 processor that comes with the U11 Life does give you some great software and gaming experience. I played few games like the Alto's Adventure and Marvel's Contest of Champions, and I didn't find any hiccups, and I really enjoyed playing these games in the U11 Life. And that was surprising to see this performance in a mid-range processor. Just because it's using mid-range processor and playing games really well doesn't mean it does not lack in few other areas where the other top-end phones excel. So the U11 Life with its mid-range processor could be slower in loading apps and games, but once it crosses that and has the app or the game in the memory, you should have a really good performance. U11 Life comes with a 2600 milliamps battery on board. Now, don't let that disappoint you. If you are a heavy user, you will easily get a solid 8 hours usage, and if not, the U11 Life will last you a full day. With the mid-range processor powering the U11 Life, there isn't much you can ask for here with the 2600 mAh battery, but you can always get more power by switching to the various power saving modes. Now, one good thing though is that the U11 Life supports Quick Charge 3.0, which means that you can charge your U11 Life quickly and get going. The U11 Life is a remarkable mid-range device, and if your budget for buying a new smartphone is below $500, then you should certainly consider the U11 Life for its beautiful liquid surface design that is lightweight and for the software experience that does not degrade just because it's a mid-range device. And not to forget that it is also dust and water resistant, which is hard to find in other mid-range smartphones. You can buy the HTC U11 Life for $349 either directly from the HTC website or at a T-Mobile store near you if you're in the US. If you want the top end, you can always buy the HTC U11, else you will still be happy with the U11 Life. And if you want to know more about the HTC U11, don't miss my HTC review and top tips and tricks for the HTC U11 videos. I'll put the links in the description below. Hit that subscribe button for more reviews, tips and tricks for the latest smartphones. Until next time, bye.